get taken out by my own city. We're going into game 1, and these are predicted to be the favorites of the group, and we'll see who can settle in for the first seed or get comfortable at the start of the bracket.
And I love that Rome mentioned that both of these teams took down LSU to qualify for this event. LSU have been a long-time competitor in CRL. For both of those teams to take them down really shows you how they've grown on their rosters. UTA trying to get the push started here. They do have their top goal scorer, the top guy who says, "Why you doubting me?" Samba gets the first goal.
Just like that, I was thinking it was going to be a pass too, and now Garen just had to tip, and Nava, I mean, he's in front of the enemy net. So that's already great for UTA, and it was a bloodbath for UNLV just to get to this point. Like we already talked about, the Game 7s that happened in the Western Conference, and getting that final spot is big for UNLV. It's always been the conversation of Columbia versus UNLV when it comes to the West, and UTA on the rise and already looking good in Game 1.
And they got the clutch factor behind them. If this does turn into a stretch of a match, they are 6-1 on match point. I mean, that's an incredible record. In Game 5s and 7s, you're 6-1? I mean, I don't think many other teams have a stat line like that. UTA, even when you take them to the stretch, gonna be a difficult out. UNLV trying to get set up here in the midfield. A nice little pass out.
A good touch from UNLV, and mainly tough to just keep that going, but UNLV lose control so quickly, and this is a flub you just can't afford. And UTA take a shot. There's no saving that. UTA now lead Game 1 2-0.
Huge missed touch. Unfortunate. There's Nitrous. The ball just gets away from him in the rotation. Couldn't make up for it. Honestly, I don't think you drive up the back of the net on that play. You got to jump up for that. You pretty much take yourself out in the rotation. UNLV absolutely had a chance to save that. But unfortunately for them, UTA and Samba picking up his second goal.
Okay, this is already scary. Finally, Garen is going to intercept something, but I'm sure the pressure and the weight is setting on the shoulders of UNLV. This is not your turf, and UTA, they got the crowd backing them. But at least UNLV starting to wake up now. You got to do some work, and it starts by making space in front of the net. Now Tuv with just a slight touch gets that away from UTA as Garen wants to fight back, but it's tough for UNLV to move down the field.
And that crowd factor is something that can't be understated. But for UNLV, something they can really count on is as soon as they score, that crowd will go silent, and that can be really empowering for a team that has the crowd against them. They're still trying to fight their way out of the orange half. UTA doing a good job buying time, getting pressure, scoring goals. Adverse puts in the third.
I mean, it's a big reason why UTA have the most assists out of their goals. They work so well together. Every goal we've seen so far was due to a pass and maybe a flub. UNLV just can't think 3 steps ahead when it comes to UTA, and with 3 minutes left, it's getting out of hand.
I think those first game nerves really getting to UNLV. You had the missed touch from Nitrous that just put the game 2 ahead for UTA, and then after that, well, I mean, it's been a struggle to get control and a big demo, and Samba picks up a hat trick.
Now, if you're UNLV, it might be time to think back, okay, at this point, is the game over or not? There's still a ton of time, but you just got to keep composed in a LAN environment. You have your coach behind you. Even if you lose this game, the series, you have tomorrow to think about it. But the changes have to start now if you're UNLV. Look to your leader, Garen, you know, your highest performer there. Anyone in the crowd that could be cheering for you, because being down 4-0 in game 1, that hurts, that stings.
Yeah, it really does. And I think or to your point about the game being this far away, halfway through game 1, it does give you a chance to just relax. It doesn't feel as tense because the lead just feels a bit insurmountable. So you can use this time to really just reset the mental, get those passes down, have the rotations be a little cleaner. But they can't keep Samba out of the net. He scored his 4th.
Yeah, this is tough. UNLV offense a little bit inexistent, right? I've been seeing UTA with these incredible passes, and UNLV when they move down the field, feel like Tuv is still incorporating himself with the team, and just UNLV, the confidence, it'll get there. It'll get there, maybe not game 1, but game 2. And if you're gonna slay down LSU, if you're gonna have Bates talk on the desk, you gotta be able to perform on a big stage like this.
Not the best start here for UNLV. I'm not even sure they've registered a shot on net yet. That one ripped high off the backboard and taken away. UNLV, I really just think it's a nerves thing. This is a quality team. They can get to this stage of the tournament without being one. It's a decent shot, and Nitrous will get the clock going here for UNLV.
Well, you can't block things you don't expect, and if you know you're registering 0 shots from UNLV, you ain't expecting them to score. 2 stuck from UTA in the corner. Big opening for UNLV. I'm not saying the comeback starts now. I might be a believer of UNLV, you know, but I'm also intelligent. So.
Yeah, how many 5-goal comebacks have you seen?
0.
I just think a competitive Rocket League, it's so hard. But it could be a good momentum shifter. Momentum can carry over from one game to another, so even if UNLV can't find a way to pull the miracle off, just maybe getting that goal and they dove in front of it on the 50, it means a lot for your mental knowing we can score on this team. The game got away from us early, and that's an easy reason to give your team and to say to each other, as a nice little touch here from Garen, he might have the net, couldn't put it on target.
Good tip, though. Someone can follow up, and Tubb is just there, and a few missed opportunities from UNLV. But at least that 0, that donut, is a breadstick. It's a 1. So we know how to score if you're UNLV. You think about game 2, but it's a confidence booster to just have these close calls like that. Don't get frustrated. Just work on perfecting and improving as you go. You can see that UNLV at least getting out of their own end is nice. Yeah,
trying to add to the breadbasket, at least keep it stable. The final minute, it looks like UTA are really solidifying their hold on defense. Demo on the back end by Samba. And I mean, for UTA, they're not usually the more physical team when you talk about this matchup. UNLV in the CRL League, they were second in demos per game, over 4. And they get another goal here. This has been good return to form for UNLV. A little late, but 2 unanswered.
And this is UNLV, one of the top physical teams when it comes to CRL, and this all was enabled by a demo from Garen, creating this 3-on-2 in the enemy zone, and this is perfect. 36 seconds, though, you know, it's kind of chalked, but you're seeing old UNLV come back into play.
Good win on the kickoff as well. UNLV likely looking towards Aquadome at this point. Hang on a second. Okay, saved. The thing is, how many times have we looked like fools before a team comes marching right back? And there's a 3rd goal, Lemon.
I don't know. 32.
Doable. It's doable.
It's doable. Great setup by Tubb, and then you got the double commit in front of the net from UTA, and then you tuck this one into the bottom right. So this is great for UNLV. This is momentum that you brought up. It's picking up in the second half.
How they approach this kickoff. It's a good leave for Nitrous. Nitrous just marching straight down the field. He got the 50. He's going to waste some time and no touch. They try to push back down the field. Nitrous gets the ball, but I think this is where the time is your worst enemy. They're going to try again, and while UNLV might have lost the battle, the war is certainly up for grabs as UTA take game 1.
Well, you stopped the bleeding. There's a sinking ship. We put a Band-Aid on it. You know, we only got 1 goal in that first half if you're UNLV, but it got close. We got back-to-back goals, and it's all off that backboard. He had a bit of demos coming in from Garen, and now it's the rock for UNLV, but now Tubb is getting so much more involved in that front line. A few missed touches happened in that first half, but I think things really started to pick up from UNLV. But, you know, I'm kind of shining what's happening with UNLV when UTA came out swinging on their home turf.
Yeah, UTA, I think the only thing that I'm concerned about for them is they did let UNLV get a bunch of those goals. That does matter on this stage. Again, when the crowd is against you and things weren't going your way early on, UTA's thought process has to be, you know, yeah, we had a 5-goal lead. We let our foot off the gas, but I have seen it so many times in Rocket League where a team lets their foot off the gas, they mount a big lead, and then the team in the next game comes back, smacks them in the mouth, and they can't get control of the game anymore. So I think that's my only worry for UTA. But for Samba, I mean, he said to Daz, look, I'm the best, man. And then he scored 4 goals in this game. So that's a great statement to come out right after Daz pumped him up like that.
At least you can prove it, right?
Yeah.
So if you can walk the walk, you can talk the talk. So I'll allow it. Also, a lot of demos coming out of UTA already in the first half. I wonder if that kind of threw off the rhythm of UNLV, where I didn't really, like you saw, but we didn't register a lot of shots in that first half. We go into game 2 to see how woken up UNLV are feeling.
We start off with a nice 50. Garen's going to headhunt. A little dump in front of the box. Third man playing very safe, and UTA got the transition, but pushed out to the corner.
A good carry. UNLV really started to stifle the speed that UTA were playing with. I kind of noticed that in the last play of game 1 with Nitrous. He kicks things off, passed a little too far off the wall. UNLV loving that backboard like they did in game 1. That's kind of how they started picking up a bunch of goals in that second half. Nitrous at least gets it set up to Tubb, and what a deny from Adverse.
Yeah, no boost for Tubb. Couldn't get up there to contest the shot, or contest the block, if you will. The this one taken away. But UNLV early control. This is already demonstrably better than game one started for them, where at this point they were already down 2-0. UNLV, by Rule 1 has commenced on the backboard. We're finding all sorts of places to headlock these days. Eventually, I think they're going to find a way to do this on the ceiling. I don't think so. Oh, look, that is true respect. You got to applaud it.
I do feel bad because that's UNLV's best player that they are locking up. So it's
the strat.
Gonna lock up the highest performers. Still a 2-on-2. Rule 1 into effect. Still UNLV. Nitrous wanting to pass over to Tuv, who's over in the midfield. Still adverse denies. UTA hoping to clear. Now Tuv brings it back. Garen still now getting on his back, kind of doing some flips and stuff.
They had broken it up, and then they just said, no, we're going to stay locked. You heard the crowd, they were upset about it, and then the camera comes back, and look at this. Who's winning the war here? And he gets pushed off the play. Adverse,
oh, he comes back?
Just going to sit. And, yep, they're still going to do this. You know, I don't know if this is the greatest idea, but I guess you guys still have 2 lives left, so, you know, I'm not going to fault you for it.
It's only a mistake to whoever gets the goal scored on first, so a few minutes gone by. At least you got some cooks in the kitchen in front of the net, so there's a smidge of defense for UTA if you think about it. But now over to Nava. What a pass and a deny from Tuv.
Good job from Tuv to get in front of that. Knew the pass was coming. Now he's got the transition. Gets on top of it. Looks for the bump, but it's taken away. And in these 2v2s, it does change a little bit than when you're playing 3v3. The follow-ups become much more crucial. You can't take yourself out of the play, but you also can't overcommit. It's a delicate balance of making sure you're reading that second player on the other team so you're positioned for that touch or at least the challenge. You have no back support with a third man. This Tuv is going to push this one up, but it's taken out by Nava.
Nava was in the air first, and UNLV had such a cool setup, the way that they were just running into the defenders and almost had a sick pass. I think now it's just up to Tuv to keep this one going. Garen is still out of commission now a few minutes later, and still no goals, which is definitely a change of pace from how game one went for UTA.
Both teams' top goal scorers locked up, which is just hilarious to me. So if you were going for the strat, I don't know if it worked out for either of you, but like you were saying, it kind of is defense a little bit. I mean, if you hit the ball in that area, it could bounce off the car. It might not go the way you want.
Oh, get ready to get booed, though, if you even try to defend this. Oh, Tuv intercepted again. The defenders of UTA. I feel like UNLV had so many opportunities, and UTA are a brick wall. Here's the fire back. Samba with the shot. No one home. UTA, first goal.
Samba, his 5th of the series so far. Good control here from Nava. Baits the defender forward. Doesn't give up possession, and Tuv is forced to commit on that challenge. But that control gives Nava exactly what he needs, which is that pop-up and a free goal for Samba.
You know what's great about that goal is that there's no more Rule 1 too. Garen, everyone can play the game now. That's great. A minute and a half, though, you saw how chilling Garen was on the webcam.
I think I need a statistician check on this one, but that might have been the longest Rule 1. And, I mean, they relocked 3 different times. I've literally never seen that in competitive Rocket League history. It's insane. That was great. CRL World Championship giving us a ton of firsts today.
They're like, I got an itch. What are you up to these days? But at least you can talk to your team, and that's the level of trust, right? For Garen to just, you know, you guys got this without me. 1 minute left. UNLV still have to tie this up. It's Tuv and Nitrous in front of the net. And what a save from Samba!
Nitrous just couldn't get any power on that one. Ended up hitting it right down into the ground. Samba no boost, but he made the 50 happen, and Nava gets caught looking. And now the other way, Garen had a chance, but it's taken away again. And UTA not privy to allowing UNLV easy shots. That one might come forward, but it's taken away. UTA get another clear as time's running out. Shot on target, and it's actually bounced off the post. Old Ironside strikes again.
UTA only up by 1. 23 seconds for UNLV to tie, and it almost hits the post again. Goes in, and that might seal the deal for game 2.
First one bounces out. Second one bounces in. A great pass from Adverse to give Nava that goal. And UTA really making a statement here against UNLV. The offense has been excellent, and despite UNLV, they've had a bigger presence in the midfield. They've been able to get set up, but it's the shots that are really lacking. Nitrous specifically had 2 that really could have had more power behind them. They need that power behind those shots if they want to get goals against UTA. But UTA, now a 2-game lead against UNLV, who have to work real hard to get back into the series.
And series point, crowd real excited to see their, well, their, I would say hometown, but the home school.
30 minutes, basically hometown.
Yeah, and, to be fair, I was expecting this series to go more the distance. I think that UNLV slow start hurt him a bit. The confidence, though, I think started to rise, especially when you got the Rule 1 being locked in for so long. That's Garen looking at his team and say, you guys got this. And Tuv is very involved on that front line, trying to set up those plays. Few missed opportunities from UNLV, but the presence was there in Game 2. A lot better than Game 1.
Yeah, I don't think UNLV can lock themselves up like that because not having Adverse in the play is certainly going to hurt. He's the team's top goal scorer, averaging 1.2 goals a game, but man, there's just nothing like a solid Rule 1. See, Garrett gets kicked out of the way, but then if you go back to the camera later, oh, we won't see it. Actually, we will. That was a nice save. Thought that one was the goal. This one was the goal. Nice from Nava. And that was really where things got out of control, was the control. That nice pass from Adverse that time. I think I said Adverse who took him out of the play. I was talking about Garrett, not Adverse. I had it mixed up.
This is a shutout, though, that UNLV at least registered a lot more shots, and there was a lot of more passing. I mean, most of the game was just Tuv and Nitrous, but they were having some nice passes, and I just can't believe the ironclad wall that UTA had in front of the net. And then their passes are still clinical. They execute every single time.
Well,
so
that's why I feel like UNLV, they actually have a real chance to come back here because they did have the pressure. They got all the steps right when it's generating pressure on offense. The only thing missing from that offense was the shot quality. If the quality increases even just a fraction, I think that UTA will find their defense a lot tougher to handle, or their offense a lot tougher to handle. But it's up to Nitrous and company to get that offense going. You got to look at Garen. He's got to be the guy to start striking for this team. Someone else has to step it up. There's a demo for UNLV, but no control. Another demo, and they'll finally grab the ball.
Just not a ton of boost for UTA to even do something with this, and Tubbs is getting harassed. 2 members of UTA approach. Garen has to help him out. Now UNLV feeling a little trapped. UTA, though, having the cleanest of possession, so keeps going back the other way. And even a chaotic kickoff in Game 3. You see how bad UNLV want this, and UTA are chilling with a series lead.
Another demo from Garen on the back end, but the follow-up is not coming. Not a lot of boost on this push. Nava did just pick up a canister over in midfield. Samba setting up Nava for the play. Cleanly on the touch. You see a little awkward here on defense. They're also starting to get depleted on the boost. The corner's getting stolen away, but looks like they might find a clear here. No, it's just taken away by Samba. Might have to push himself. Samba, he's been looking good, and he drops it down. Just had it on the rebound. Goal for Nava.
About time. UTA just had all the pressure and all the momentum already at the start of this game, and UNLV, every time they cleared, whether going to the opposite side of the field or not, UTA knew how to take the ball away every single time, and this is a lead that UTA are always starting with, and UNLV having to fight from behind is killer.
And they are trying to be physical. It's just these demos aren't coming in advantageous situations. They're dummy demos, where it doesn't really affect the rotation of the other team. And you got to get those demos in space. The follow-up needs to be there. It's great that you take a player off the field, but if you're not behind the ball, then you're not going to get anything done. And that's, again, the shot quality lemon. That one off target, another chance for them to put pressure on UTA, but they feel none of it.
Yeah, for UNLV, it's not the lack of opportunity, it's the lack of execution. They have the chances. It's about cleaning up those mechanics where UTA, they were warmed up, ready to go. Well deserving of this 2-0, and now with the lead, and even with the seconds going by in Game 2, only having to close out the 1 goal. UNLV just choked, and that's a shot and a save from UNLV, but you're barely out of the woods yet. Garen clears, though.
It was a good challenge, and he's got the boost steal. This might be a chance for UNLV in front of the box. The shot off the post. Nitrous didn't have any boost. He had to pre-flip. He didn't have a lot of options there, but that's just been the exclamation point on UNLV's offense. It's not there.
Yeah, that's tough for UNLV. Yet another chance gone. 2.5 minutes, you have the time. You gotta clean these up. Samba with the pass. And it's redirected back towards the post. UTA, though, still have the ball. Garen in the net awaiting. Tubb hoping to get more involved. And this is still the ball in the hands of UTA. Off the backboard, though. Good deny from Tubb, but it goes back to Adverse. He read that play like a book. Double commit from UNLV, as scary as UTA still can put on the shot.
Oh, Tubb got the boost and he got the bump, but somehow UNLV don't get control of the ball. Skips off the ramp, up high in the air. Adverse, uncontested, drops it down, but not enough. UNLV can get out. They've got a lot of boost in the tank, but can they march down the field? Here they come beyond the midfield line. Taken away around the corner. The follow-ups this time, a little cleaner from UNLV. 3 touches in front of the box, it's taken away again.
Well, it's a long clear, good for UTA. Tough trying to bring that one in. Let's see, get in front of Nava, but Nava gets a touch first. Adverse to the backboard, has to cut that. At least UTA have a chance to keep this going. Samba has to get in the way of Nitrous, puts that thing in reverse, and UTA still a minute and a half are in the driver's seat, both in this series and in the game.
UNLV doing a better job contesting midfield. You get a little pressure there, but that 50 from Nava was so good to put it back into the corner. Garen trying to flush it to the middle of the box. Now it's just a scrum. Next car up on these rotations. Here comes Garen floating in, shots too light, and Nava makes an easy stop.
Just gonna have to get more creative if you're in UNLV to get past this UTA defense. They've barely allowed any goals. What, a total of 2 all series? And UTA are just looking so good at the start. But like I said, this is only the start of the weekend. UNLV will have to fight through the lower bracket unless they want to say something different to me. 45 seconds to tie. UTA looking so good. Adverse with the shot to the post. Nava hoping to follow up. UNLV have to pop it up just to get it out of UTA's hands.
I think Tubb was happy he got demoed because he was super awkward on that play. He'll spawn with a couple of boosts to his name. UNLV, dude, you have to get down the field. UTA cutting the corners off. Got the 50. Loose in front. Goal! Samba keeps on delivering.
UNLV can't get down the field. Now UTA just put on the pressure. Of course, one of these passes are going to go between Adverse and Samba, and this is going to go into the net. UNLV just can't clear, and even when they do, there's always Nava back there, the glue to UTA, to deny everything that UNLV are throwing at them. And you're coming from Vegas, you're used to winning, you're used to being the top team in the West, and UTA on the rise, well deserving of this series.
Something to say for the home crowd advantage. Time expiring, crowd counting it down. Adverse slaps the ball out of UNLV's wheels, and there you have it, a clean sweep of UNLV. UTA move along in GSL groups. UNLV got to go down to play Portsmouth.
Wonder how much of a risk UNLV are willing to take, but at least, both these teams are the favorites, expecting to make it into the next couple of days, but this is a killer to your confidence of UNLV. These didn't really feel that close. Us in game 2, we're like, oh, okay, we got a bit of a 3-goal comeback for UNLV, but I gotta say that there's gonna be a lot to talk with the coaches, a lot of things that you gotta turn around through the lower bracket going down tomorrow.
And I just wanna say that while I massively respect the honoring of Rule 1, look, this is the CRL World Championship. You just lost game 1. Really, you got whipped in game 1.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it was the best decision. Sure, if, your teammates score that goal, we have a completely different makeup, but that was your top goal scorer. Garen is the guy you rely on in those tight situations when the offense isn't working. He's the only guy putting in over a goal per game. You can't take him out of the game for 4+ minutes. You can't. And so I really think that while, yes, I'm being sour, okay? I'm being the no fun Jorby here, and I'm saying, do not lock yourself in a Rule 1. If you get broken, play the game, because this is gonna happen to you. Or I don't think that UNLV, I don't think they should have got swept in this series, but UTA just so dominant overall. And how about Samba? 6 goals in 3 games. Man, absolutely popped off, where Adverse is usually the guy doing it, but this time it was Samba.
UTA had a lot to say. At least they did also walk the walk. It was a great series for UTA, and it's always been the conversation of maybe UNLV and Columbia when it came to the West, and UTA kind of had that fall, but then that rise. And now that both these teams fought through game 7s to get to this point, to get the last spot, I already know Bates is going to have a lot to say about UNLV.
He's always got a lot to say.
I know, to be fair, yeah. But now going down 3-0, at least make it close.
Well, it wasn't that close, but I can't wait to see what Dazarin has to say with Samba for the post-game interview.
I'm here with Samba from University of Texas, Arlington. Make some noise! Look at this. Samba, congratulations on the win. You start off the day with a sweep. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels awesome. Thank you for all you guys for coming out. It's crazy, we were hyped. They were nervous. We were not nervous at all. We were so excited.
Listen, Samba, you were playing amazing Rocket League over the course of those games. We saw some of the goals all series long. But in game 2, you guys had that crazy Rule 1 that was going on for like 4 minutes. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So yeah, Adverse is actually our best twos player. So when that happens, you know, we're kind of screwed sometimes. But me and Nav are good, obviously, and we were just calming a lot. And Ad kept staying in the rule one, which respected that. And but yeah, me and Nav are really good twos players, and we knew we could beat him in the twos game.
Listen, this is a great start for you guys, right? Obviously, you guys are going to try to keep this energy going over the course of the day. What's working for you guys? Is it the crowd? What is it?
It's honestly our mental and our vibes. It's so good. We were calming so much. We were so excited. Game one got a little nervy when they came back almost. But yeah, we always, you know, we're always positive. That's the biggest thing, I think.
Listen, before we let you go, get back with your team. Obviously, got a lot of fans in this crowd and some watching at home. Any words for them?
Yeah. Shout out to all my family and friends over here. Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to the rest of you guys. And shout out to Noah and Chris, UTA.
Big ups for Samba, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we got more Collegiate Rocket League coming after the break. Don't go anywhere.
I was put